Hi, my friends, I'm Ixim, and today we are doing a card a day, one card, and today is the Hierophant number five. Number five. And to remind you a little bit, the process that we're doing this is that I got this new deck, the Wild Unknown. I never really have worked with animal deck, and I really never done this exercise a card a day. So I decided to do it to get connected and get to know a little bit about this deck. So it is very different than the regular deck because usually it comes into like a Pope, a little bit of religious. Let me see if I find it here. Anyway, it is very different than the regular Hierophant and other decks. But at the same time, I think if we look at the card, it sort of holds the same symbolism. It is there is a crow or a blackbird, we may say it, and he's opening his mouth. So we can say that this card is talking about listening. To me, it more than giving a message, it's more about listening. So usually, if we read the description this is the regular book. So we have over here the Major Arcana, the Hierophant, mentor, teacher, higher knowledge. So this is what it means. And over here in the guidebook, we can read that it is talking about a mentor seeking knowledge. It is in its simplest form, the Hierophant represents a mentor or teacher. This card signifies a hunger for knowledge, being in practical, like studying, work, learning a skill, and also in the spiritual realm. You have come as far as you can on your own. Now it's time to deepen your practice. In other words, ask for guidance. Don't hesitate. Join a class, go to a workshop. Don't be afraid of new experiences. A new ceremony or ritual may prove to be both comforting and rewarding. Open your heart and your teacher will soon appear. And like they say many times, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And this card, it really does speak to that. For me, since the bird is sort of talking, I think it's more into listening. Like when we meditate, and see what is our higher self telling us. So it's very much about listening. The key is, the key to open the door into another experience, into another form of knowledge, into getting to see our lives and what happened to us in a learning sort of format, right? I'm going to learn from this experience. What did I learn? What was good? What was bad? What can I learn from it? And the number 5, if you look at any other card, even in the Minor Arcana, that is sort of goes with the 5, which is the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20. And then we have the 5s and the 4 suits, the cups, the pentacles, the swords, and the wands. If you see the number 5s, they are all about lessons of life and listening to our higher knowledge or to our guides or what life is telling us. So it's pretty much about learning. So when we see this card, we need to think about what did I need to learn? Or is somebody, who is teaching me in my life? So yes, as a mentor, you can be the mentor yourself also, and depending on the situation. A lot of times, if it comes into a job area and a reading, well, it may be that you're starting your job and you need to take it as a learning experience. If it's in a spiritual area, so we may say that then we can then speak in terms of taking new practices that they're going to be teaching us, new things, spiritually talking. And then if we think in relationships, we can say that it may be, there are in our relationships, we need to do adjustments or learning from what is happening to us. So it's basically a card of listening, live lessons. And the number five to me is adjustment, meaning change. A lot of times when I see this card, it's not a pleasant lesson. In other words, people are struggling. You are struggling, and it's hard for you to learn this lesson. If we see the minor arcana, look at this. So this is the Five of Swords. And as you can see, if you look over here in the guidebook about the Five of Wands, I'm sorry, the Five of Swords, five. So we can see the self-destruction. Yet another card of warning, the Five of Swords depicts the destruction of the self. You'll be lured into another situation or argument you know to avoid. Your selfishness and desire for power will lead you to defeat, pain, and so it's not really a pleasant card, but it's because you have to learn from this experience in sort of like a pleasant, not pleasant way, like I was saying. So this talks about that things that makes hurt us. These are activities. We engage in negative conversation, so only negative things will come. And then we have the Five of Cups, and as you can see, the horse is really sad. So it talks about sadness, maybe missing people, maybe just being sad. And then over here we have the Five of Wands, and for me, it just looks, and that's what it says in the note, in the description too. It's sort of like the attention is not there. It's a scar. It's a scar all around. So usually, so when this scar is here, you can see that you're not focused and you're not thinking right. You sort of have to organize your thoughts and ideas. And then look at the five, I think is the Pentacles, and you can see, that is a card that talks about sadness, just pain. So, in terms, so then we see the number five, we see that there's change, evolution, lessons learned, but many times in situations that you don't expect to be, period, so then you have to turn these cards around and say, I'm going to make the adjustment that I need to really come in the other side and learn from this, even as painful as it is, and this is what they're speaking. And the major arcana card, it is what it is. The five is a card of adjustment, of change, but change in the fact that you get knowledge and wisdom from painful experience most of the time, but not always. He also, and I'm talking here about, and I'm talking here about this the spiritual side, but in a practical reading, it may be different. It may be just that you are getting into a new religion or new form of thought. Or, if it's upside down, a lot of times it talks about the restrictions that you feel, or wanting to get off, that religion, feeling like you want to escape from the boundaries or the limitations of that form of belief, religions, or whatever. And so anyway, this is a wonderful card, and for me personally, it speaks about the best teacher in the world, which is your higher self. Taking that moment and trying to listen what your higher self has to tell you. So yes, we see that we can teach ourselves, and we teach others, well, other people ourselves, and we have meet teachers and gurus, and we read books and everything. But if you really want to learn in a big way, you have to go deep within and listen to your higher self speaking to you. So this card for me in the shadow work area is asking me to go into a meditation and to go into that space when I can listen. So thank you for being here again one more time, and I appreciate that you're here with me, and I welcome any comments and any questions. Thank you so much. Bye.